filled her tub with bleach. Naked, she held her body inside her brown eyes, stared at the soft auburn of her hands, wondered if they would ever be the color of her palms. She was 6 years old. Her mother walked in, heart dropped as her daughter explained, "Mommy, I wanted my skin to be as light as yours." This was in Mexico. After 100 million years of solitude, Earth held out her stomach. On her knees, she begged for a daughter who could dance in faster rhythms and move her body in circles. When they told Earth the sea collision section was coming her way, she did not brace herself. She embraced the pelts of planets as they chipped away her outer layer to form the pale face of the moon. The stars welcomed Moon with blind drawings and lulled her into daydreams where she slumbered in wonder of how the stars could shine so pure. So, while in a northeastern United States elementary school, I would ask my ma why I was La Morena, darkest in my family. In public schools, they taught us about body image, how the womanly stars in the magazines carried themselves empty. They were skin upon bones, teeth scraping away the words beautiful. They told us our full stomachs were beautiful. But they never told us how the stars in the magazines had sallow cheeks and hands that drew no gradients between front and back. They never told us our brown skins were beautiful. In science classes, we learned about the moon, white mistress of the sun, how she takes just as long to spin around her axis as she circumnavigates the earth. She always faces us in paleness, never shows us her lunar dark side. Ma says that must be why we've grown so obsessed with her. Arms always stretched out, space flights and US flags out, to touch, to know what makes her flesh so white. These stories run like rivers. They know no national boundaries, but they have slipped into our bloodstream and they have become consciousness. But can we ever hear a planet's consciousness? Hear her pleas for bandages to stop the bleeding at night? We can't even hear the cries of Earth's thunder. We say it's just the way she cools down. We write up moon stories, her dark side untouchable, how she runs crazy through our blood through no lunacy. These fingertips have clipped off our wings ever since we marked these lands civilized, developed, leaving the rest of us naked, developing our whole lives to fit into their silver lining dreams. But tonight, I can tell you a story about how my mother, 6 years old, lifted her foot above a tub of bleach when my grandmother walked in and pulled her into her arms and tried to shake her beautiful, shook her so hard she forgot about her own bleach blonde hair. And I can probably raise 10 fingers for every woman in my life who ever shaped me. But ask me again to tell you how many of them do not whiten their hair through dyes or straighteners, and I will show you my fists. But the moon can't even raise her fists, can't even fit poems in her eclipses, so she fits 28-day dances around her mother, tilts her head to see her mother's wrinkles as she turns another millennium, the big 4,600,000, 4.6 billion in wise men years, but all she sees is mother covered in new makeup, losing her hair, the scratches on her skin. These are the beauty marks of globalization. These stories seep into our bloodstream, lying dormant until we call back ourselves, call back our bodies through poems and bare voices, the blood-painted war songs. Maybe if we listen, we can hear how she turns and turns iron inside her stomach, how she switches the magnetic field, makes love in tectonic plates, mid-ocean rifts as great as tidal waves, how she gives and gives and gives with hands wide open. But we keep on scratching up her skin, painting her up in concrete lipstick and spotlights. From outer space, the moon must see her mother in fragments of majesty. 4,000-meter deep blues, the white cloud swirls tiptoeing above her warm, brown land masses, the soils. The soils my mother came from tasted the footprints of the corn kings. Mi Madre is the most brilliant star I know, glowing in undertones of home. My mother is my earth. I kiss the bottoms of her palms, tell her she's beautiful,